Oh,
Wait,
we
wait.
are actually live, just so you know. Yeah, this is for real.
Hi.
Hey.
It's Cryptic Puzzle, everybody. It's
Is
the
it?
show where we talk about video games and game design and games we like, and also we cover the Asgore theme from Undertale, but just that one.
I think we've really lost the plot on what the show is at this point. But
You-
you know what? That's
you-
okay. You
You
know?
do the drums, I'll do the little MIDI melody. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There we go. We're the worst. I can't believe we're just like being delusional into the microphone for the internet. For no one, actually, you know. It's really for us.
I think we're gonna be like Beethoven or Van Gogh.
Like missing an ear?
Like
Or-
we're gonna die, obviously, and then in like 300 years, they're gonna find our Twitch streams and be like, "Oh my god, what a bunch of geniuses!"
Wow. Huh.
They talk about game design in such a groundbreaking way.
I'm not sure any of that's gonna happen.
Their cover of the Asgore theme for 10 seconds was the GOAT, dude.
Oh. Ha ha ha.
That's gonna be
That's
gonna be a comment on one of our videos.
Oh. Well, you already made the joke, though. Anyway,
What are we talking
We were going to
about
talk
today?
about what we played this past year and what we liked in 2025, even though we did do a bunch of that for the show, so we aren't going to, like, go in depth the same way we did. It's more like a broad strokes kind of what did we dig. Andy's got a whole plan, I guess, again. He's got plan number 2, and I have slides.
Let me say this though, because like for me, like GOATY time of the year is like my favorite time of the year for just like being a podcast and like YouTube listener. Like I love like hearing what games people played and what games people played that like no one's ever heard of, and like how people reflect on the year. And so like I was like, I don't know, we don't need to do like a GOATY in the real way, but it would be fun to just talk about like what we played the most and what we enjoyed the most and what affected us, you know?
Yeah. And I guess so you had a structure for yours. I guess do we want to start with, so I have some slides that are high level, I guess. And were you going to basically go through the whole year? Because like I have my timeline view in front of me. I guess we could like step through the year as well.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. Wait, are you like showing visual slides that I should be looking at?
Right now there's just a cover page, but there will be. So if you just want to pull up the stream, you can do that. Or I can send you the link if you want.
Yeah, send me the link because it's not showing on Discord, which means I have to go to twitch.television. But just put the link. But that's fine. I don't need to look. I can just go through the slides.
No, it's okay. I hope this works. Oh no, I never messaged you on Discord.
He never messaged me on Discord. He never messaged me. There it is.
Give it a try.
Do. He never messaged me. Never messaged me.
I did though.
All right.
I did.
I'm on slide. I'm looking at slide 24. Should I not scroll down to spoil it
Don't
yet?
scroll down. Don't spoil anything.
All right. Did you kind of do? How did you do it? Did you do by seasons, by months, kind of thing?
No, I did some high level stuff. I went to the first actual slide. Andy, you and I, we're out of touch, buddy.
Wait. Should I go to the first slide?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We're out of touch.
We're out of touch, buddy.
Why? Okay. Wait. Why is that the theme?
End of 2025. No, this is going to be, you made a segment, I made a segment.
Okay.
So this is
All
going to
right.
be the pilot episode that's blended with our 2025 thing. Don't worry. It'll get more specific after we're done talking about the year.
I think it's funny that you say we're out of touch when it's really just me who's very blatantly out of touch.
No. Here's the thing. I'm going to show you with data how it's both of us. But you're way worse. Like way worse. Like so much worse. Yeah, like
really love
just to
this.
be clear.
I ambushed you. I told you I was gonna ambush you. I didn't know this was happening. You like pulled a double ambush, pulled the wool over my eyes.
Yeah, I sure did, buddy. That's all right. It's gonna be. Here's the thing. This is gonna mostly be what we talked about, and then it's gonna be something that you and I have kind of already talked about, and I knew was gonna be fun for the podcast. So I just
All
have
right.
some visuals and some guidance. We would have been stuff we did already.
All right. Let's do
Anyway,
it. Let's go to slide 26.
yeah.
I want to see what
So here's just my top 3 on Steam for the year. So I have a whole bunch of games played, a whole bunch of achievements unlocked, blah blah blah. My top 3, I was actually kind of surprised by one of these. I didn't realize that I played that much First Berserker Kazan because I tapped out of that game because I thought the numbers got out of control. Like I thought it was a good game, but I just didn't even finish it. And apparently that was my third highest playtime for the year.
wow.
Rebirth,
I'm surprised to see that too.
yeah, Rebirth I spent a lot of time in and then tapped out because I was like, oh, this is gonna be too long. And then Claire Obscure like dominated my whole life for a while. So
Yeah,
that's
it sure did.
why that one's up there. So I do have other games that are on here that a couple that I like forgot about and should bring up, but I think I'll save that for when we're going through kind of timeline wise what you were planning on doing, you know. So
Okay, cool.
yeah. So
Let's go to the next one. I'm excited.
yeah. So this is some of the other stats from mine. So if you want to get like my top 5 instead of my top 3, I did actually play some Warframe very early in the year. I was back on at the end of 2024 for a little bit, and then I fell off probably actually I think before the end of January, and I haven't touched it since. I think maybe I've like updated it or booted it once, but didn't do anything. And then I
You
also
are known
played
to play
Stranger in
Warframe.
Paradise. Yeah, I did. I have played more Warframe than I've ever played anything else. But that's because I've also. Here's the thing. It is now. Oh my God, it's 2026. I've had that account for more than 10 years. So it makes
Now,
sense.
I'll say
You
this.
know?
Looking at the data on slide 27 immediately, I noticed that 56% of new releases, like I know that's out of whack because the thing a lot of people have been talking about is that like apparently, I don't know, 13% of like all of there's like a really low number of what am I trying to say? The majority of people on Steam, I think, played very, very little new releases in 2025. They mostly played games from earlier years,
Yes,
I've heard.
yes. I believe that's true.
Yeah.
And the other weird part is so just looking like I'm not an achievement hunter, but just because I play a bunch of games, I just unlock like a lot of achievements are just like play the game and then by the end of it
Right.
you have like almost all of them now.
Yep.
So that I'm surprised to see for that reason that the Steam median is 11 and that the median of games played is 4. That just seems like low to me for a more enthusiast platform, but I guess that's where in my head I was like, "Oh, like I know I was going to be way beyond anybody else, but I would have expected the number to be higher than 4." You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, again, I think it's like pretty famously like most people play like 2 games a year is like the actual like statistical. I think if you look at just everybody, that's like the median number for the whole world. So 4 is a little bit higher.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm curious what that actually is because I'm sure it depends exactly on how you count it. Like, does playing a game on your phone count? Does like what qualifies as the game and like how much do you have to play it, type of thing.
Yeah.
Because if
Yep.
somebody opens Candy Crush once in February and then never looks at it again, did that is that did they play a game for the year? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right, yeah, let's go to mine. Mine's next.
yeah, I blacked out your name, so no one has to know. But mine's just
Oh,
what my
okay.
username on Twitch is, so it's not as whatever. So yeah,
I
there you go.
gotta say, I'm surprised that Constance made it to number 3.
I mean, that's what the playtime says, man. Now that said, Steam playtime is based on when did you hit the play button and did the game boot type of thing. So if
Yeah.
you like leave it on pause or whatever and then walk away from it for a while, like all that counts type of stuff. So it's always kind of like it's really like when was the game active on your machine time.
Yeah. I
But
do I think though, this year in particular for me with Steam, I okay. obviously I played a lot of Elden Ring. Like that's true. We're not going to
Oh,
discount that I
did you?
played a ton of. But wait, but listen, but this was a big year for me of like playing a ton of demos and playing a lot of really short games. Like I did only complete and play through a very small handful of games on Steam specifically for whatever reason.
Yeah, I
You
was
know?
gonna say you played more stuff on PlayStation and Switch and stuff than I did,
Yeah.
so I know you'll have more to say, but like a lot of what it is that I'll talk about will be like when we get to the timeline because basically everything I played this year was on Steam except for Bloodborne
Yeah.
and well, actually no, I played Ratchet and Clank on Steam too,
Yeah.
so yeah.
All right, let's see the next one. The games we play, Andy, parentheses Steam.
Yeah, you got your next two games on there too.
Yep, Ninja Gaiden doesn't surprise me, and Kitsune Tales, which is that's like a pleasant little Super Mario 3 clone. It looks like a Super Mario 3 clone at first, but it's just a great platformer. 67 recent favorites. The
Yeah, dude.
percentage of playtime.
Oh,
Oh, you
well,
didn't hide my name there.
well, that's your
Had
name.
in
There you go.
releases from the last 1 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Oh, so it doesn't have by this year on my graph.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. I could pick one and take the screenshot. So if I went over those, you could like if you were to scroll through yours right now, if you hover over those colors, it'll tell you the stats for everything.
Gotcha. But it's not the majority, as you can just see, because the blue is new.
Yeah. So yeah, that looks kind of like I don't know. I'd call it like 15%, and then that last little chunk is definitely like 5 at most, type of thing.
Yeah.
So something
All
like
right. So
that.
what does this data say to you as you look at my data?
Now see, what's funny and what I didn't put in here, what I thought about putting in here, was your Steam replay from last year because because the whole year looked quintessentially like what I would have called Andy games. Kind of cozy games like a short hike where you could climb or whatever, or a pixel game or Metroidvanias, and there was a whole bunch of those. And it's like that's just how I knew Andy to play video games. And then we go to this year, and Elden Ring is at 28%. And also, the funny part is it's not even it's technically my copy. You've just
Yeah,
played
I know
that.
that is hilarious.
Like
But
I
like,
mean it's whatever, but like it's just so funny that you own it on another platform. And this is still
and the again, the funny thing is, it's not that I didn't play those kinds of game this year on Steam, but I just think a lot of them I played briefly or didn't finish, or they just weren't like there weren't a lot of shovel knights this year, is how I'll put it. You know, like there weren't a ton that I played, and I was like, this game really grabbed me, and I really loved it. There were some, but I mean, Elden Ring is an inflated thing by its nature too. But yeah, it is like hilarious. And when we get into my year, we'll talk more about like Elden Ring and all the things related.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
Yeah,
all
do
right,
you want
new
to keep
releases. Is this just like all of the new releases in general, or are these the ones we played?
Okay, so this is Steam, the Steam store, their new releases in 2025. And so on the left you see it says 1st through 12th sorted randomly, and then gold is 13th through 24 sorted randomly. So this is technically the top 24, and you got the top 12 on the left and the next 12 on the right in no particular order. So yeah, and this is all games that came out in the year 2025, not what
Stellar
was
Blade
sold
came out in 2025.
on PC. It did.
I thought. Oh yeah, I was gonna say it came out a couple years ago on PlayStation.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So I've played. So just to point out how out of touch we are, I've played one, two, three of these games. Three, four.
You've played more of them than I have.
Is that right?
I mean,
Wow.
you can see. Here's the thing, because you can see that if you look at in library, right? So
Yeah.
Expedition 33, I played some Night Rain. I didn't play a lot of Night Rain actually, and I technically haven't really played Silk Song, but I do own it. So I've technically only played 2 games on this list.
Yeah, I've played four.
Yeah. So
and I really like all four.
yeah, I think
um,
the other part is just kind of looking at the spread of just what's popular in new games. I think it's super cool that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is up here. Um, I'm really glad that game sold super well because apparently it's like super incredible. I might
I
play it one day. I don't know. Like it seems like I couldn't do another monstrously big game right now. But like if I'm gonna pick one in the future, that might be the one, you know?
see this makes me think a little bit like less about what people buy and play on Steam, but more the way people buy and play on Steam. Because I think for me, Steam has kind of definitively become like my discount platform. Like I'm always looking for deals, and like there's a great number of games that I've played that I might not have otherwise because they were on sale, like, Steam or PlayStation. But Steam, I pretty exclusively am going to buy something on Steam most of the time because it's on sale, usually.
Yeah. I mean I will if I'm desperately gonna play a new game, like that's just gonna be less and less and less frequent. I think for a while. It's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on right now. It's just I kind of wait for it's like a game that I'm like I think I want to play it. I'm almost certain I'm gonna like it, but I don't want to pay full price for it. And then one day I get a notification that it's on sale and I buy it and I play it and I have a great time. So it
But it
works.
makes me wonder, right? Like there are some games on Steam that are free to play. There are some of these that probably did have huge sales. Like I would guess that maybe like Doom the Dark Ages might have had like a crazy Steam sale or something. I don't know.
It didn't come out. I don't remember how. Maybe it was May. Maybe there was more year with it than without it. I can't remember. But that definitely went on not super deep discount, but like 30 to 40% off. Like, and it's a new game still, which that is a pretty steep discount for a new game, I'd say. You know.
All right, so next one is revenue. Should we look at revenue next?
Yeah. So this is top revenue in 2025, meaning it doesn't matter when it came out. It's how much money did it make for Steam. And again, it's in no particular order in those groups, but that's top 12 and then next 12.
Now,
So,
I don't
yeah.
know enough about these games, but are they prime like let's take Baldur's Gate for example because I've never played it. Is that a game that has in-app purchases? Like I'm assuming most of
No.
these are things where you can buy stuff in game. Baldur's Gate does not.
No.
Oh,
Baldur's
okay. So that
Baldur's Gate's
means
just that popular still.
got it. But a
Yeah.
lot of these did, right? Like I'm assuming CS2 is free to play. Dota 2, Arc Raiders. Is Arc Raiders like an in-app purchase game thing?
I'm sure it has some. I don't know much about it. Honestly, I don't care about the game that much, and also they have the I don't know. Do you know the weird AI voice acting thing with that?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, it's quite specific. They did pay people to give over their likeness to use as an AI voice for NPCs.
Oh, that's creepy.
I do still hate that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like that. The same way I don't like us resurrecting people with CGI who are no longer with us. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So that's what stands out to me is the games here that cost like $60 or something must have just been like huge sellers, and the ones that are like free to play, it doesn't surprise me that they're like top in revenue, right? Because they're like hugely popular and they just kind of print money by the nature of the way they exist.
yeah, so the thing that I think is crazy, so I'll point out Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 again because it is insane that it's somewhere in the top 12 against like every other free to play shooter and Battlefield 6 and Monster Hunter Wilds. That's nuts. That game sold a lot more than I thought it did, I think.
I don't even know what that game is.
It's a sequel to Kingdom Come Deliverance, dude. Come on. It's like an actual like historical fiction like fantasy game. I think you're in Belgium. I can't
It's like
remember.
a Skyrim kind of thing, but it's like history.
Here's the thing. It's like what I think people wanted to play Skyrim. Like the people who don't like playing video games but like Skyrim, I think it's the kind of game that would be perfect for them, but like actually super good.
Okay, neat.
Yeah, like I'm really considering playing it. Just like cuz I used to say Elden Ring is the game that people sold me Skyrim. I'm like, yeah, but I think Skyrim was sold to me as like multiple experiences that it wasn't. And I think Elden Ring was one of them, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the other. You know,
Oh,
so
interesting.
that's how I'd phrase it. You know, so yeah, and also I do want to point out in here, Call of Duty, like in the other one, it said Black Ops 7 because that was the new one. That I didn't realize the Call of Duty entry on Steam. Here's how out of touch I am. It has the last couple Call of Duties and Warzone all on one page, and there's multiple buttons to buy the individual things. So it's somehow consolidating all of those sales. I don't know how that works,
Wow, that's bizarre.
but yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right,
so
let's go to the next one. Oh my God, you did a lot of revenue data here.
yeah, dude.
Jesus.
Well, there was another list. So I took this screenshot last week, so this is probably all different now. But like on the same page where like the Steam Replay stuff is, like I think if you, oh maybe it's not the same page as Steam Replay, but there's like a sales retrospective thing they always have, and you can click. It'll be like calendar year 2025, calendar year 2024, and then like a whole bunch of different breakdowns. But yeah,
Okay.
well, here was the top 20 a week ago, straight up. Like, and you can see, I think the most interesting thing on here is the number of weeks it has been on this list.
Trails Beyond the Horizon is on here? That's surprising.
That remake just came out, didn't it?
Yeah, but I didn't know like people cared that much about Trails. Warframe's been on there for 668 weeks?
Yeah, dude.
War Thunder's been, I don't even know what that is. I feel like I've seen YouTube ads for War Thunder.
You definitely have. I think the other part that's crazy is seeing a pre-order up here for Resident Evil Requiem.
Looking at this does make me feel like I am like if gamers were all in a high school together, like the entirety of hashtag gamers, like me and you would be at like the nerd table of gamers.
Yes.
Like everyone would be making
Yeah.
like, I'm like, oh my God. I thought I was a hashtag gamer, but it looks like I'm not.
No, here's the thing. I think it's that it's not even just necessarily that we're at like the nerd table. It's that we have an older school set of tastes. You know, I
Yeah.
think you even more so than me. And gaming is changing, and this is kind of what is normal. But like discourse online, at least what I see, is still more so about the games that I play and the types of games that I play and everything, right? Because you can always find that community, but despite the fact that, yeah, man, how many of these games that we play do you see on this list? You know what I mean?
I play Steam Deck. That's number 2.
That's true. You do. I also have one of those. It's pretty good.
All right, let's go to the next slide.
So I swapped this because that was actually technically just in the USA. I swapped this to global because it is a little different. Not a ton, but you
No,
can see
not
that
much at
technically
all.
the things that shift around, you know, all the free to play stuff is still here, you know, blah blah blah.
All right, still depressed. Next slide.
Yeah. So
PSN sales.
Yeah.
Holy Christmas.
yeah, so this they displayed it in a weird way, so I had to put it in a spreadsheet. I don't know why. It was weird. It was dumb. You can see the squiggle underlines under the words that it didn't think were real. It's funny.
Sure.
So I look at this and I was like, okay, so bear in mind all that stuff was just Steam, right? Which I would still argue is not the majority of people playing video games. It is larger than it has ever been, grand scheme of things, but yeah, it's this is a more standard look, I think, at gamers because they're the
These are
console
all
ones.
ball and shoot games.
Yeah, Andy, you know what's really
They're
funny?
all ball and shoot
Andy,
games.
go to the next slide.
Minecraft isn't. Okay, next slide. Did you you color coded the ball and shoot
Blue
game.
is ball, green is gun.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's really Now, I will say I enjoy myself a gun game every once in a while. I used to enjoy ball games a long time ago when they were like arcade games and not like weird simulators that are just like steal your money, you know?
Yeah, and like the other thing too. Sorry, I'm like having all these revelations. The other thing that stands out to me is that like the majority. This also makes me feel like the majority of people that play games like I don't think they care about video games as like an interesting medium the way you and I do, because
No.
like
Yeah, exactly.
Clair Obscur, like, sure, it made it on the list, which is awesome. Like pretty low on the list in the US, but like you could go online and find like lots of awesome discourse about like what people loved about that game and how it changed their life and blew their mind and blah blah blah. But like you wouldn't find that about like NBA 2K26. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a lot of casual people playing in like a very, very casual, superficial way, is how I feel it must be.
I think the part
Is
that's interesting about looking at the ball games is that you can see both this year's and last year's version of a couple of these games, both in the U.S., both I guess North America is probably how I'd put that. U.S., Canada, and then in the EU. So
it's
yeah,
like the pop music of video games, pretty much.
yes, precisely. Yeah, this is. I almost said Nickelback. That's such a
All
dated
right, next
reference. Oh
slide.
my god.
You
Oh,
don't
oh,
got any
I have to.
quality.
Oh my god. Oh, jeez.
We got balls
We
and
got
gun.
balls and gun. All right, Andy. Here's the thing. I think, I think it's time for you to go through your timeline, and then
All right.
we'll do my bit. So
All right.
why
So,
don't you
okay.
why don't you talk?
All right. So, what I've prepared is, it started as like a month by month, but it kind of turned into like seasons ish of like what games were notable and stood out to me that like I really liked and had an effect on me. So, let's do kind of like January, February. We'll do like January through March first, okay?
Okay.
The first game that I played this year that I remember playing that had a huge impact on me is The Last Guardian, which is a
Ah.
huge surprise. That game, I think I got on sale for like $15, and I feel like it changed my life. And I loved it. And then Monster Hunter Wilds came out, and I love Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm like the one guy, and like there's so many problems with it. Like I think the performance being the one that I probably can't defend. But for me personally, like I was like hooked on Monster Hunter Wilds for like a solid month and a half.
Yeah, and I
Um,
bet you if you went back to it, you'd have a really good time because that tends to be how that works. You know.
yeah, I love
So
I love Monster Hunter. I have my problems with Monster Hunter with the way I play games, but I loved it. And then early in the year, I also played Shadow of the Erd Tree for the first time. And I also, this one's funny. I started playing Breath of the Wild early in this year
oh my
too,
god. Oh my god.
which we'll circle back
His
to.
AA
Um,
reverts back to his prior form.
which we'll come back to later. I don't want to spoil it. And then I think, was it March that Claire Obscure came out in? I don't remember.
It was. I think it came out in April. I was playing it in May. You beat me to it, so I think it was April.
Okay, so I put Claire Obscure pretty early in the year, as well as Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo and
Yeah.
Kitsune Tales, but Claire Obscure being the big one, obviously.
Yeah. So I had actually by this point in the year, I'd played a couple new games. I played. It didn't show up in my top five, but Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which was a lot of
Okay.
fun, and I really enjoyed that. I played the Kazan demo apparently, and I think Kazan came out a couple months after. Is when I did all that playtime. This is also when I started playing Rebirth because I got it on PlayStation. Didn't really play it on PlayStation. It looked and kind of ran like garbage, and I was like, it'll come out on PC eventually. And so I got that, and I played a whole bunch of that, and I kind of spread that out through the year. But that started in February, and I also played and finished Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which
Did you
is
really?
yeah. Oh, here's the thing that came with when. So when I got this computer, that was one of the they send free codes with stuff all the time. So I got a free code for that game. After buying an incredible amount of PC hardware.
Cool.
That game is really cool, actually. It is first person, but it's not like I don't know. I shot a gun. Like you can shoot a gun. I think
So
I
shoot.
shot a gun like four times in the whole
Call of
game.
Duty. Call of Duty shooter man.
It's definitely not one of those. It's like a puzzly. I don't know. It was a really cool Indiana Jones like I'm not super familiar with Indiana Jones, and I just like really dug the vibes. The opening of that game is straight up just a recreation of the beginning of one of the movies that you play through. Like the cutscenes are shot for shot, like perfect recreations of the movie, and then you play a sequence, and then blah blah blah. You get to do the whole swap the thing from the pressure plate, and then he's like, I did it, and then the boulder comes down anyway. Yeah, that
That
thing.
sounds incredibly uninteresting to me.
No, it was pretty fun. Here's the thing, that was more a showcase, and then the rest of the game is kind of not really puzzly is maybe the wrong word. It's like a true adventure game, is how I'd describe it. It was fun.
Okay.
I liked it.
All right, talk more about a game that's interesting to me now.
Where did we get to in the year?
Indiana Jones.
No, I mean timeline wise. Oh yeah, I played Stranger of Paradise. That was on my top 5. I played that on stream when we were just kind of like talking about stuff, and I was running around trying to kill chaos.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's. Oh, you should maybe give that a try. You might like that.
I think I did on Steam Deck and it didn't run well.
Okay, that stinks. Yeah, it did always have PC performance problems. But yeah, I really enjoyed that game. I think I got it on like a sale where there was a bundle with like the DLC and stuff, and so there's technically a whole bunch more content that gets way harder. And I just rolled the credits. I was like, wow, what a great game. And then I was just done with it after that. I probably would
Okay.
go back to it, but I just never did. So, and it was
Nice.
hard enough by the end of it where I feel like I'd have to like get back into it. So we'll see how that plays out. I'll probably never actually play it again because of that. But and then Claire Obscure came out, and now I think we're aligned.
Yeah, Claire Obscure. I mean, it's amazing. We talked about it so much. I'm glad. I'm glad that most of the world loves it as much as I do and as much as you do. I'm sad that people had to come out of the woodwork and be haters, but that's how things go when things blow up. But
Yeah, it is. People really wanted to harp on the one AI texture thing, which normally I would be way more up in arms about, but they were actually forthcoming about it months ago, and then re-clarified that they were like, "Hey, so we were messing with tools back in like 2022, and then we decided it wasn't for us. So that was probably left over from that. I don't know,
yeah,
you know."
it.
And also,
Of all
2022 AI, I need people to realize, was not even a little bit like what it is right now. Like, not even close. It was like barely functional at that point. So that's why they didn't use it, probably.
I think of all the games to blow up and become a huge success, Claire Obscure hugely deserves it. Hugely.
Well, I agree. And this is where, all right, I guess we get to have the kind of weird thing. It's weird to me to have that conversation about that game because on principle, normally it's like well, it's not really about a quality thing. It's about like the opposition to the idea of using the tool because it's unethical, which I do agree with generally. But I look
Sure.
at that game and I go, how a machine could not have made a thing with this much intent. That's the thing
Yeah,
with
of course.
AI. It doesn't make anything with intent. That game is interwoven with intent in every single fiber of its being. The music has intent, the dialogue has intent, the art style has intent. All of it is very, very cohesive in a way that those tools cannot make. So that's why, like, fundamentally, I'm like, when they say they didn't use it, I'm like, yeah, how could you have made what you did with the tool that can't do that? You know what I mean?
Right. And also like if we were going to say, all right, they experimented with a tool in 2022, like this is like a relatively smaller team that no one knows about. Like, we're not talking about Sony laying off the God of War team to replace half of them with AI. You know what I mean? We're talking about a group of 30 people who 3 years ago might have used a tool to like mess around with and get inspiration. So like, even in the case where you want to oppose the tool because it's unethical, it's like, we're not talking about Microsoft like laying off all of their programmers. Like, it got inflated really quickly, the
Oh
whole issue.
yeah, and that's I guess part of the danger of all of it is like if we misrepresent it and demonize it in ways that it is not actually, then it gives more credibility to the opposing arguments type of thing. Like there's so much to actually critique about this stuff. Let's not get hung up on the details about a thing that like we have way bigger stuff to worry about. You know what I mean?
I
I'm
think the crux of
that's
it,
I don't know. I'm a problem solver guy, so like I'm very regimented, logical with like you have to like understand it to even talk about it. But people don't like
I
understanding, you know.
yeah, I think the crux of the anger for a lot of people is like I'll say I talk to a lot of people on the day to day who know basically nothing about AI and they like go to a seminar about AI. I could give you some good examples of people I know that went to a seminar about AI and they came out in the end and they were like, "Well, there's maybe some useful stuff and also like, you can't fight the future. Like the technology is coming whether we like it or not." And I think a
That's not
lot
how
of the
technology
pushback.
works. Oh my god, every time
Yeah,
somebody
right.
says that, I want to scream.
Right. But listen, I think the people that are outraged so quickly are like from my perspective like giving them the benefit of the doubt is I think they want to jump on it to say like they want to stamp any of it out because they're like me and you where they think like it's not inevitable that this technology is coming, so we need to like point out all of the bad stuff and why we shouldn't be using it. I think that's where like the quick outrage comes from.
Yeah, and I don't even kind of like disagree with like that approach, right? Like I do think it makes sense. It's like yes, we should be quick to point out when things are wrong, but that doesn't mean that you also need to smack all the people in the back of the head who are actually like on your side and are like asking a genuine question about something. You know, because they
Yes.
straight up
Yeah.
don't understand. They're asking because they don't understand. And when those people show up, the current dialogue is to just scream at them until they go, okay, so I think these anti AI people are kind of like nuts. It's like, no, man, you got to
Yeah.
just talk to them like they're a person and tell them why it's bad. It's plenty bad. Just say that in those terms. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
Whatever.
So
Anyway, moving on.
back to my timeline. Um fall sorry, not fall. Spring and summer were pretty interesting for me. So in the spring, I played, and these are not by months exactly. This is just kind of spring overall. But I did play and finish Dark Souls 3 for the first time. We'll circle back to that later. Um, I did get a Switch 2 on launch day, which was amazing, and I wasn't expecting to happen. And I played Super Mario 3D World slash Bowser's Fury for the first time because I really wanted something to play on my Switch too. And I think I bought it with a gift card.
Oh, did we talk about Bowser's Fury? Because I never played it and I kind of wanted to try it one day. But
It's cool.
yeah,
It's cool and short, and I'll probably play it again someday because it's cool and short and tons of fun.
gotcha.
They really should just sell it for $10 instead of putting it on like a $60 remaster for no reason. Like that's kind of
Well,
the bummer about it.
but Andy, that would make less money.
Yeah, well, I'm not here to make money for Nintendo, bro. I'm here to
Well,
talk
hey,
common
guess you
sense.
know who is Nintendo.
Nintendo's entered the chat, everybody.
Nintendo has indeed decided
Wahoo!
they're going to make more money. The end. Yeah.
Wahoo!
Anyway.
I'm a Luigi.
Oh my gosh.
These are the sounds of Nintendo
No,
entering the
you're
chat.
Andy.
So, and then in the summer, I played Donkey Kong Bonanza. I finished Breath of the Wild at 60 frames per second
Oh
on
my.
my upgraded Switch 2 version,
The
which is
return. The
amazing.
callback.
I did like half of it in the winter and then the second half in the summer. I played Ninja Gaiden Ragebound with Shinobi, which we talked about at length. I played Cavern of Dreams, which is a really charming Nintendo 64 style platformer, which was awesome. And the big one I want to highlight here, which I think you should play at some point, is Pseudo Regalia, which is like one of the most like polished, weird, amazing platformers I've ever played. And I've played it like 3 times now because it's so short.
Oh wow. I've heard of that one. I didn't know you played it actually. So okay, I'll give that a try if it's a specific recommendation from you. So
Yeah, it's cool. I tried it when it came out and I kind of bounced off it. And then in the summer, I decided to pick it up and I just beat it in like 2 sittings because I was having such a fun time. So I don't know. It's a weird one, but it's cool.
nice. All
Tell
right.
me about your spring and or summer.
Yeah, so that was we said Expedition 33. I played a little bit of Night Rain when it came out. And then I was never playing at the same time the couple of friends of mine were playing. So I just didn't really play as much as I was gonna. You and I should play that at some point
We should.
because
That
we
was kind of
can.
like that was like the bummer of the year, I think, for me a little bit, is that like I did kind of want to try and play Night Rain a little, but I just never did. We
Yeah,
should
let's
at
do
some
it,
point.
and we'll talk about it on the show. We could play it on the show.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
We could do it, and then we could talk and play Night Rain, and probably be terrible at it, but that's fine.
We can't
It's
both play
whatever.
it though, because I have your Steam version.
No, there's 2 copies.
Oh, they're both on Steam?
Yeah,
That's right. You gifted me one on
yeah,
Steam.
because I had the collector's thing. Same deal
Right.
as with Shadow of the Erd Tree, basically.
Right. I thought you got it on PlayStation at that point. But all right, cool. Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we definitely got to do it at some point.
Yeah, so I'd like to get back into that. I also played the Liza P DLC, Liza P
Oh,
Overture,
yeah.
which was excellent. You'll have some things to say about Liza P later, I'm sure, and we can talk about that a little bit. We
No, that's 2026, baby.
Oh, I guess that's
We could
true.
talk about it if you want, but it is
Nah,
20.
no, it's okay. We can save that for a future discussion because you're also close enough to the end where I'm like, you know what's gonna happen is you're just gonna go back and you're gonna beat it, and then but I'll be like, all right, let's talk about it.
I
Maybe
might.
I'll
But all right,
replay it.
well, maybe. But all
Maybe I'll
right, tell
replay
me
it.
more.
I played RoboCop Rogue City, a gun game.
Of course.
That game was actually a lot of fun. I've never played a shooter where you're basically just a tank. You're very slow and you're very hard to kill, and you just walk into a room. And you're like, all right, I have my unlimited ammo, fully automatic pistol. It's great. It was a lot of
Sounds
fun. He's,
sounds like a nightmare.
you
All
just
right,
play.
what else?
It was just like playing a RoboCop movie. You know, it's great.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know RoboCop's like ultra violence and stuff, right? Like it's weird that they ever had like a kids show or toys or something, because like,
No, he's like a cop, but also like a robot, right?
right? Yeah.
What I thought you were gonna say.
Well, I mean that is true. That is part of the whole deal.
I
So,
know, Tommy. I didn't know that. Thank you for pointing that
oh,
out.
okay. I figured. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing that I told you then. You know. I
All right, what
played
else
Star of
did you play?
Providence for the first time.
Oh, I played that a little this year.
I got that, and then you recommended to me Scourgebringer because I think we talked about that,
Oh
and then I played
yeah.
some Scourgebringer too, and then Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi is all in here as well.
Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed. I both of those games back to back was a fun experience.
Yeah, I popped in and out of apparently playing Rebirth again. I played Wolfenstein: The New Order for no particular reason.
Wow. All right. Just coming in swinging with these random ones.
I mean, yeah, no particular reason. Played a short hike. That was this summer.
Amazing.
First played in 2025. I guess it was this year. Oh my god.
What an amazing game.
Oh, it is. It's really good. Yeah.
I love it.
I went back to Ninja Gaiden Black apparently. I saw Resident Evil 4 remake kind of sprinkled throughout all these months in there because I can't help myself.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, keep going.
For mine?
Yeah.
All right. So all right. So this fall and winter, it was a big one for me. Okay. So Silk Song obviously took over my life.
What's that?
It's this little. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's this little indie title. It's called
Yeah.
Hollow
Tell
Knight:
me about it.
Silk Song. Hollow Knight: Silk
God.
Song for the Nintendo family of systems.
Oh my god.
Um, which I played. Okay, can I just tell my quick Silk Song story because it's so unhinged?
Oh god.
So
Wait,
Silk,
did we talk about this last time? I'd say it anyway. Doesn't matter.
all right, yeah. So Silk Song came out in September, and my baby was also born in September, and I was like, I don't want to say I was rushing to beat Silk Song, but I was hoping I would beat it before my baby was born because I was like, once my baby's born, it's going to be hard to play video games. And like literally 2 days after my baby was born, I beat Silk Song. But like I will forever remember So my wife was scheduled to be induced to have the baby, okay? Because like on the due date, it was like the doctor's like, "You're coming in, you're having the baby," which means we went in the night before and we slept in the hospital, and I slept on this like it's like a chair. It's like a reclining chair that rolls out to be a cot. And I'll never forget as long as I live playing on my Switch 2 Hollow Knight: Silk Song for the Nintendo Switch family of systems and just blasting through it while I'm on this horrible cot recliner chair, and then a couple days later beating the final boss while I was living in the hospital because it was the first few days of my daughter's life. Like, what a crazy thing to be attached to my baby's birth for the rest of time.
And then you get to tell her about how you were way more interested in Silk Song than being present for the. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
He goes,
Torn
listen,
it cried a lot less about everything. What do you want from
that's
me?
that's true. That's fair.
All right. And then the other big one that happened shortly after was Bloodborne because
Yeah.
I don't know what the itch was, but I was like, it's fall. I'm gonna play Bloodborne, and I totally loved it. Um and I've already told my unhinged story about that, so I won't do it again.
Yeah. We had a
And
baby
then
on the podcast or the show or whatever this is for
yeah, oh
Bloodborne.
yeah.
Remember? It was
Yep.
great. Or
I
something.
played Constance, which is an excellent Metroidvania. It's not that long. I think it would have more playtime in Steam if it was a little longer, but it's really great. Um, I beat Elden Ring again, including Shadow of the Erdtree. over, over.
I
Shut up
just played all of
again.
Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree, played all of it, and all the side content I never did.
Um, about a month ago, when I was on my winter break from work, I beat pretty much all of Dark Souls 3 again.
I was present for some of that actually. So
I didn't beat the final boss again because I just didn't feel the need to, but I did play basically all of it in like a week.
oh, did you get through the end of the Ring City?
No, and here's
Oh,
why.
you gotta do that.
Listen, just shut up for a
Just do
second.
it. No, I don't care.
Just
Don't
for a
give me your
second.
excuses.
Just for a second. I'm gonna do it. I want to do it on a big TV. Like that there's something about
Oh,
like
that's fair.
I can play Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 on my Steam Deck because I've beaten them. But when I was doing the DLC and I was like, "Oh, I've never played this," it feels weird to do it for the first time on a handheld. So that's why I stopped. I was having fun, but I was like, I want to do it on a big screen.
We're gonna build you a PC, Andy, so you can just keep
And then
going. Actually, Dark
no,
Souls 3 doesn't have cloud saves, so you'd have to be a little more finicky with it, but you could figure it out.
I don't need to. Elden Ring's coming out on Switch 2 this year, and Dark Souls 3 will probably
Oh yeah,
come
you
there.
just got to play it on a third platform, you know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you are worse than me with Elden Ring. That's the most insane part about how out of touch we are. I don't know how this happened.
Listen,
I don't know how
it's
this happened.
okay because right
You're a
now,
sick man.
when when I play Elden Ring, shut up. When I play Elden Ring, I have to when I want to play it handheld, I have to play a separate file than my television version because it's on my PlayStation. When it's on Switch 2, I won't have to switch back and forth anymore. I can
Yeah,
just play one file.
yeah, yeah. I guess.
And
I guess.
finally, the
Because I
last game.
had to play the game 4 times in 2 different consoles. It wasn't my fault.
I had to do it
I
legally.
had to.
I did play it a little. I played it a little at your house in December too. Let's
I
not
know.
miss.
I came back and you left the game open, and you also had. I think Silk Song was also open. It was super funny. And then you blamed the other guest. I was like, "You are the one. You're the only one." Oh god, that was so funny.
Final game I want to bring up for this year that I played at the very end of December, that I picked up on sale, that I tried the demo for it like 3 times, and every time I was like, I don't care much for this game, but I decided to buy it and I played for like 20 hours and had a great time. Is Mandragora: The Whispers of the Witch Tree. which
Oh,
is
that wasn't what I
excellent.
was thinking you were gonna say.
I really liked it. It was excellent. Um,
Nice.
yeah, again, something I maybe would want to play on the big screen. I got to a point where I was just getting like a little too patient. It started to feel a little bit like a slog later in the game, but it's a really polished, cool game.
Nice.
So that's
Yeah.
it. Um,
Uh-oh.
tell me about your winter, and then I want you to guess what you think my game of the year is.
Oh, okay. So what's funny, in September, I played some Hollow Knight, colon nothing. I got to the Mantis Lords, and that was when I talked about this on the podcast. I think right about when it happened. That was when I realized I was like, man, I'm really just kind of burnt out on how I'm playing video games, and so I put it down because of that. I do want to get back to it. I was enjoying myself. It's pretty cool. I'll eventually play Silksong. You forgot a game in here that I know we both played because it was a game we talked about. I
Okay.
already mentioned it. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Oh yeah, I played that like in the first week my baby was born too. I beat it in like again like a week. It was pretty short. It
Yeah.
was cool. I mean, I liked it. That's like as much as I think that's why we didn't do an episode on it because we were just like we liked it and there's not much else to say.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I would think it would be more interesting to talk about. And I think I said this even on a podcast episode. It'd be more interesting to talk about the older games, and that is a pain to play them at this point, which sucks.
Yeah.
So, I bought Sniper Elite 5, which is another gun game. I like that one. I also bought that one for no specific reason. Anyway,
Okay. Wow.
and I played Absolem. I bought and played that as well. That
Yep.
game's really cool. I really like that. I think if it was on a sale, you should pick it up. I don't know how you feel about beat 'em up combat. It's not like the deepest beat 'em up combat, but it is basically Hades with beat 'em up combat. So
I did try it on Steam Deck and I was like this is cool and I'm just kind of not in the mood for it and I put it down. But it was I mean it was cool.
yeah, its unique thing is that you basically, I mean, you're technically picking paths, but it's always based on like power ups and stuff in Hades. This one is like you're explicitly picking like a path. So you will only go through certain parts of the map and you will not go to other parts. And that's just how your run's going to go, which I think is
That's
interesting. I
cool.
like that. Keep it, you can basically choose to have the variety. I played the expansion for Sanabi as well.
Sanabi. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and that was really cool because I was like, "Oh, is it going to be more stuff?" Because like Sanabi has like it's almost got like the, I almost said creature commando, not creature commando, bionic commando, the like grapple arm swing mechanics. You said you
Yep.
started that game but didn't finish it, right?
Yeah, I think I got like halfway through.
Yeah, I really liked that game. I think I picked it up on your recommendation actually, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought the presentation of the whole thing was super cool. And the expansion is just like a brand new character that plays completely differently. So they basically just added a second shorter campaign for free.
It is
It's
cool.
cool.
You know, it's funny because I feel like with that game uh I have the same I have kind of the same problem with that game that I do with Katana Zero, which I also really love Katana Zero, but like the mechanics of Sanabi are like so polished to a sheen and they're so cool and they're so fun. But like they ratchet up the difficulty in a way that's natural, which is great. Like the game gets harder and then it just hits a point where I'm like it becomes so precise to just get to the end of each room that I just start to get a little frustrated and I'm not having that much fun, you know?
Yeah, I can see
For me
that.
personally, that's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I find that game to be the like the ultimate just one more run kind of thing, where I'm like, oh, because it's also the very quick. Oh, let's just try again real fast. Oh, let's just try again real fast. So I will absolutely get stuck in that loop. Now, do you have any other games that you wanted to talk about for the year? Because I got another one
No,
that
but
I
I
was
want
thinking about.
no, but I want you to guess what my game of the year was.
Oh, I already. Oh, I don't know if I said it when we were live. I was assuming it was going to be Silk Song. I feel like it's got to be Silk Song.
I
Like, it's got to be Silk Song.
it's that wasn't the one I was. Well,
He's like, yeah, it's Silk Song.
all right. Guess my number 2 then, because
I think it's
okay.
so funny that I was like, no. I know what your real answer is. And you're like, yeah, you're right.
You talked me into it. Like
I
Silk Song is like a spiritual experience, but like okay, setting aside that that's obviously everybody's game of the year who's not a psychopath like you. What do you think my number 2 is? Because it was very close.
Claire Obscure, Expedition 33.
Incorrect.
Oh. That Mandragora game you were talking about.
Incorrect. As soon as I tell you, or as soon as you guess it, you're gonna be like, "Wow, that's so obvious. I really should have thought."
All right, just say it, because, yeah.
It's a game that came out this year. You want me to say it?
Well, yeah. I mean, you said Game of the Year, so I assumed, yeah. Yeah, say it.
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh, yeah.
That game is maybe like a top 3 game of all time for me. I love that game.
Yeah,
Love it.
I played that little bit when I was visiting. The mechanics do feel good.
I played it 2 times this summer.
Yeah, because you're a sicko.
Literally I 100%ed it like 2 times back to back because I was having so much
Because
fun.
you're a monster person.
Whatever. You're just jealous.
Because and then I immediately went and I played Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree again too.
Whatever. I'm just better at you. I'm better than you at difficult games like Donkey Kong.
Like everybody knows the most famous difficult games, Nintendo games.
The early Donkey Kong games were muy difícil. You know this.
Yeah. Yeah, but I beat the original Donkey Kong. And the Game Boy one. The Game Boy is the best Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it's hard. All right, let's talk about your Will Smith meme now and get to the end of this.
My Will Smith meme. Well, here's the thing, Andy. There was one game that I gave a try, and it's another game that actually you and I can play together. And I didn't really play a whole lot of it, but it is going to spark a little bit of discussion, I think, because today's topic about how out of touch we are, if you want to move past John Cleese there.
Who is this? I don't know who this is. John Cleese?
Yeah. There's Monty Python and,
whatever. I'm just going to go past it. Today's topic. Oh, yeah, I knew this was coming.
Oh, yeah. The game I was referring to was Peak, which is not a game to play solo. Definitely not a game to play solo.
No.
So, yeah, dude, $8 is still $5. Didn't you know that?
All right, just read people the tweet and then we'll argue at length.
So it was actually from an interview. So actually in the slides, I can send you, like, I have links for sources of all this stuff, like where everything came from.
I mean, I'm looking at it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So I don't remember what specific gentleman it is, but from the team, I'll just read it. So, in a player's mind, what does it mean to spend $5? Well, that's $5. But $6? Well, that's still $5. $4 is also kind of $5. $3 is $2. And $2 is basically free. So we've got these tiers, $12, that's $10. But $13 is $15. So
crazy.
we found that $8 is still $5. It doesn't become $10. $7.99, that's $5, right? So $8 going to $5 is the biggest differential we could find in pricing. So we found it very optimal. Dude, you sent me this, and I think I responded pretty quickly to this. I, without one moment of hesitation, went, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yes, you and I guess, and you responded, and I was like, well, Tommy's got to be insane. I'm the only sane one on this planet anymore. And I guess Tommy and everyone else collectively was like, yes, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
and
this break. Here's the thing, man. This is, and I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna talk through it, and then I want to discuss it because you being so shocked by it, like shocked me. I was like, how did you not? Like, maybe you don't super agree with it, but I figured you'd at least be like, yeah. I mean, I guess I see why people say that. But you were like, no,
I
this is crazy. This is for crazy people.
I sort of do. I sort of get some of the logic, but when he says 7.99, that's $5. I was like, that is the statement of a crazy person. That's like what the Joker says before he goes crazy and burns down
Before he goes in the vat of
Gotham. Like
acid.
that's what I that yeah, like that when he said that I was like, you lost me forever. But like some I get that people saying $2 is basically free. You know, I can kind of understand that piece of it a little. And I can understand a little that like we sort of anchor in our minds like $20, like everyone thinks of like $20 is like $20, right? So if something is like $18 or $22, I can kind of see that someone might be like, well, it's basically $20. Like I sort of get it, but some of it I'm very lost on.
All right, so let's get into it. So I guess
All
I
right.
should have gone to so why this. This is we already did this. You already explained your aghastness at it. So
Yeah.
let's move on to the slide after that. So I think part of it really is just like so. Peak sold pretty good.
Sure.
You know,
I
I
love
think
it.
and I think this pricing structure is precisely why. To be perfectly honest with you, and I think they
Because
topped up on a
crazy
lot more
value.
money with $8 when they could have made it a $5 game. You know, but they didn't.
All right.
So, all right. So I guess next slide. There's a little bit of
Uh,
context. So I took the quote from the interview that it is on, and I took the part that everyone was looking at, and I actually just, if you go to the next slide after that, I
Okay.
added the context of what was immediately before that.
Oh, okay.
So part of what this is, and this is only part of it because I still think the rest of the discussion, kind of as we were framing it, is worth having. You know, they launched it like basically during early access for $5. So
Sure.
so it was already kind of $5. So in some people's heads, this game was already going to be $5. So that was already part of it. And then they start to talk about how they're like, well, what do we want to charge for it? And then it starts off as, well, this kind of came off as, we started joking. And then he says the whole spiel.
I see. So because the game was priced at $5 for early access, they wanted to give it like a real launch price, and they basically were like, "How far away from $5 can we get that it's still like psychologically people think of it as basically $5?"
Yeah, and I think that's part of it of like there is an anchor point for it, but I still think the rest of the discussion is like for real. So
Yeah.
let's go on to that next slide. So
All
I
right.
guess this is just me, right? So I think that the mental math in this is purely it's not logical. It's not about actually doing subtraction or addition. It's about justifying a purchase in your brain. So
Yep.
you're trying to minimize whatever the cost is based on whatever sounds the best to your brain in that moment. So and we're like tricking ourselves into like how cost feels,
Yeah.
depends on what
Yep.
it is, how much we're willing to spend on it, what's your budget. Unfortunately, we live in a crazy consumerist culture, so buying things is just always kind of on people's brains, and
Yep.
it's how it
Yep.
is. So I got more. The other part I think is that everything has like a worthwhile value in people's heads. Like
Okay.
like something can be like a for real deal, like something that is actually expensive and it probably should be expensive. And then there's like a real deal that's like you can get it for less than half of whatever it was. But if that number is still above what you personally think it's worth, you're not going to buy it. And it's not even if it's in your budget, right? It's a good deal, it's in your budget, you'd find the thing useful. But if in your brain you're like, no, it's too much, you just won't buy it, right?
Sure.
You just won't. So I, if you keep tapping through, it adds bullets. So
Yep.
our I think our brains always default to like I do it too. Like I do math stuff for a living, and our brains will still default to just simple math and round numbers. And going to the nearest 5 or 10 is pretty simple.
Let me add too. I think you saying pricing for everything has a set worthwhile value. I think that is much more applicable for like leisure things that we really don't need. Because I think if you're buying a car and you really need a car, or you really need a house or whatever it is, I think that number is much more it's much more prone to change if it's something you really, really need and is expensive. Whereas when it comes to like a game that you don't need, it absolutely is like, is this a worthwhile purchase? Because I can live without it, you
Yep.
know?
Super agreed. And that's where like, that's why the budget and everything comes into it too, right? Some like I'm fortunate enough to have a pretty decent budget for games, hence why I play as many of them as I do, but not everybody has that. So that's why they play a handful of games, and maybe the only game they want is their ball or gun game, you know? That's how that works. So anyway.
All right. Next slide. I'm still with you. I get where you're going.
So pass round into 5 or 10. I think, and this is purely USA only, but we're also talking about USA prices. So I think part of this is that the common American dollar bill denominations down in this range are $1, $5, $10, and $20. $2 bills exist, but nobody has those. So we think about money in terms of those like intervals, basically, and we'll round to those ones primarily,
Yeah.
So tab one more. I also think that there's, and this is kind of what you and I talked about in like the first couple times we talked about this. I think there's a mental break point at $10 as soon as we hit 2 digits in our brain. More than 10, people are just rounding to the nearest 5, like almost all the time, right? 8, however, is less than 10, but still small enough to not round up in our brains for some reason. And the next mental break point downwards is 5. And thus, $8 is $5.
I love how you went step by step.
Yeah. But that's literally the dominoes that are falling in your brain to justify this, right? That's again, this is just what I think. This is how my brain broke it down, and I think the fact that this went out into the ether and everyone was like, yeah, absolutely. There's like something about what I'm feeling I think is common for a lot of people on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you just kind of saying pretty blandly that like it's more about justifying a purchase in your mind. I think that is doing like a lot of heavy lifting for why what they're saying and what you're saying is really compelling because it's just the truth, right? It's like, how does it feel when someone says Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is $70 versus Peak is $8? Like there's like a feeling that comes with that number that makes you go like, that's worthwhile or not worthwhile, or that's expensive or not expensive or whatever. So I think that's just kind of a great way that you put it in one sentence.
Yeah, dude, I could buy 8 Peaks for that. 8. And have $6 left over.
Yeah. And I've been saying this recently too, like for as expensive as everything in the whole world is right now, I feel like the way I buy games, which is like I'm like a very rare to purchase a game that's like $50 or more. That's like a rare thing for me to do. So I think the way I do it is generally like still a pretty affordable way for me to do entertainment, because I don't go rock climbing like I used to, which would have been horrifically expensive. I don't really go out to the movies. I don't really go out to eat a whole lot. Like I think the way I do it and the way I've continued to game is like because I can do it affordably. Honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm going to be starting to lean a little bit more towards that. As I mentioned before, like I do okay, and it's just me. So my leisure budget is for me to decide pretty much exclusively. So I spend it on video games. But even then, like with games getting as expensive as they are, it's just there's so many choices, and I have so much stuff in a backlog.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard, chiming in on 8 not equal to 5 because he says 8 equals 5. Yeah, dude, that's a thing, man. I think that's most people, dude. Anyway,
I don't think 8 equals 5 to me, but yeah. I'm with Richard on this one.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna recap the logic. Let's go to the next one. Now that I've talked through what it was and framing it more so around being justifying a purchase. Here's the thing, man. I said it before. Girl math was a meme for a reason. This is just a different shape of that. Like, for real, you know what I mean? So
I do.
All right, so remember, $5 is $5. $6 is also $5. $4 also kind of $5. But $3 is $2, and $2 is basically free,
Sure.
right? Now remember, $12 is $10. But $13 is $15. But $8 is not $10. And thus $7.99 is $5. I also think the 7 helps a little bit there too. That's just a classic sales psychology thing, you know. That maybe helps the rounding down thing, but
it's funny because as you read through this, it's like I like read the first couple and I'm like, I'm with it. And then by the time we get to like $13 is $15, I'm like, I feel like I might as well be in Texas. Like I'm so far like somewhere in there. It's weird because it's very gradual, and then all of a sudden it's like, but $8 is not $10, and I'm like, how did we even get here? Like, what's going on? Like, I feel myself losing the plot as we go.
her sister was a witch.
It's crazy. All right, but I get what you're saying. What you're saying is logical, and it makes sense, and I can't agree with any of it, and it makes me sick to my stomach. But I get where you're coming from.
Oh, is that my last one? I can't remember.
I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was, and now I'm with. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me.
It'll happen to you.
It will. It's true.
Classic Simpsons bits, and yeah, this is us, man. We're out of touch, dude. So yeah.
Look, I'm maybe the most out of touch person I know, and like I think purposefully. Like really,
I'm working on it. Like, I'm surprised we do this. We could remember when we were like, we could just do this on the internet. Now I'm like, what if we did this not on the internet?
But here's the thing though, is like talking about out of touch is like, do you know how many people like, okay, what we're doing though is like, it's fun and it's arguably creative, maybe not, but it's fun and it's cool, and we are making something in like a literal sense, and we're like purposefully doing a thing. Do you know how many people I know that are just like, yeah, I go home and then like I eat dinner and then I find myself on TikTok and I've been sitting for an hour and I'm like, oh, there goes an hour.
Yeah.
And like, I know so many people, right? Like, and you know what I've been saying a lot to people lately too, is like, I think playing, this is crazy, but I'm hoping you're going to agree. I think playing a single player video game from beginning to end is like the 2026 version of reading a novel. Like nobody I know does that.
I want to throw up. I hate that you said that so much.
But don't you agree? Don't you agree?
I don't want to, but then there's the part of me that's like, I don't entirely agree, but it's not totally wrong.
But it's true because even people who play games, like a lot, they play free-to-play games, they play mobile games, they play online multiplayer games or whatever, and like the way you and I play games, which is like, I'm gonna like take something that I think is like a piece of art and play it from beginning to end and experience a singular thing and like have thoughts and feelings about it. That's not like not what most people do.
Nope. Yeah. And well, here's the thing. They're certainly not reading.
No. And I read.
So,
I know people who read, and I still read sometimes. But like I talk to people, and like you and I play a lot of games, and like I have friends who are like, I mean, more of my friends are impressed that I like record and release music. That's probably the more impressive, like worthwhile thing I do with my time of all my hobbies. But I have friends who are like, yeah, but you like actually like sit down and play and finish video games. And they like say that like they would never do it. And I'm like, like what? Like, why not? And like, it really feels like the 2026 equivalent of like, oh yeah, you like read a novel every month.
that it was gonna say, now that you framed it like that, I'm on board with you. and I
It's
and I dislike it, but I do kind of agree. I don't think I'm gonna throw out there. I think in probably most capacities, depending on what you're reading, of course, there's probably a lot more potential for intellectual stimulation with the book. You know what I mean? In a lot of cases, I still think that just writing is a far more mature medium than video games are in that capacity. But the
I'm
really
gonna
good
say,
ones, you know, the really
yeah,
good ones are like transcendent experiences on multiple levels, you know? So,
yeah. I love to read, obviously, because I have a like my first tattoo was a quote from a book.
yeah.
But I'll say that like the types of I think part of the reason I haven't read as much in recent years is the types of books that I really like to read are not I don't know if it's like they're not as high quality as they used to be, but I feel let me say what kind of books I like to read and it might make more sense. So, I really like interesting nonfiction books like about stuff. I don't really read a lot of fiction, but I like reading like a weird like I'm an anthropology professor or whatever, and I teamed up with like a psychologist and we came up with all these weird studies that talk about like people's life and things we've noticed about people and we kind of frame it in an interesting way. Like I like that sort of book. And I've noticed this might just be me getting a little bit more wise to those books, but I've kind of noticed over time is that like what they could have written in 30 pages, they stretched into 200 because there was like a publisher that was like we need a 200-page book. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I guess that also depends on like your taste and everything, right? Cuz like I mean, this is looking back into older things, but like if you were to read Lord of the Rings, have you ever actually read any of like Tolkien's work? Like read one of those
No.
books? He will spend multiple pages just talking about how beautiful the environment is. And
Which is
that's part of the appeal, but you have to be into it, you know.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds cool. And there is like a specific space that you exist in when you read where like you are using your imagination and you are thinking deeply and also like your mind is sort of wandering. Like you are kind of having this space in your brain when you read, which is cool. Um yeah, but anyway, it definitely like, you know, we talk about this a lot, but I do feel like I'm very purposefully out of touch in the way like I feel like everything in 2026 is trying to steal all of your free time and make you like not think about the fact that it's stealing your free time. Like it wants you to get sucked into an algorithm so you mindlessly sit for an hour and like it all leaves your head immediately. Where like I just that is like feels like antithetical to the way I want to live my life and it feels antithetical to like the way I want my daughter to live her life. Like it's become more purposeful now that I have a kid because I don't want her to like get sucked down like YouTube short rabbit holes and stuff at age 6. Like that just doesn't anyway, I'm 800. I should stop talking now.
No, no, no. Here's the thing. You're 100% on the money. Like we don't let's we don't have to go fully down this rabbit hole. Everything you said is happening, and that is the point, and that's been the design for a long time. So the only way to fight against it is to do exactly what it is that you're talking about, right? And to share, hey, it's really important that you don't do this, and you know actually engage with something and use your brain, right?
Yeah.
I got
And
my mom playing Wordle again because I was like, yo, please do something to be sure you're exercising some part of your brain in a way that you normally don't. You know, just simple things.
it feels out of touch because the more I talk to other people and they're like surprised that I actually carved out time to like play a single player video game or like record a drum track or do what we're doing now, like hop on a microphone and just talk about stuff or whatever. The more I talk to people and realize how like rare that is, I do feel out of I wouldn't have said this is like an out of touch thing to do 10 years ago, but now it definitely it definitely does. And I also am a teacher. I work with a lot of people who are a bit older, or at least around our age, who don't live their lives like that. But increasingly, people who are younger than us do.
Yeah, and I'll say, I mean, I was saying before, like, oh, I'm trying to be more disconnected and everything. I do still use the internet a lot, but I don't know how much we've really talked about it on the podcast, but you and I have certainly talked about it a lot off the podcast. I have always tried to use the internet with some amount of intention because that's how I grew up using it. Because that's the only way you could at one point in time. There was no infinite feed, there was no infinite scroll. So the parts of that that seeped into my life, I've kind of pushed those out. But yeah, I mean, I'll still queue up a bunch of, YouTube videos in my watch later playlist or pull up a Twitch stream or that kind of stuff. Like, there are
Yeah,
good ways for us to use this stuff. And even though those are owned by big corporations who are probably going to, make it less and less easy to use without spending more and more money, because that's just kind of how it's been going, right? But like, the idea of all these things can still be good. We just have to be conscious of it and make conscious choices to only use things that are engaging our brains and have intention.
I don't even think.
Don't let the infinite scroll thing take you over, you know?
Yeah, I don't even think it has to be something that engages your brain. It just has to be like, I tell this to my students all the time. Is I'll be like, look, y'all, I'm like a meme lord. Like, I've been memeing since before you were alive. I go, me and my friends, I could send my friends a
Oh no.
quote or a picture or a whatever of a YouTube video. Listen to me though, of a YouTube video that we watched when we were 13 and we had a great laugh. I could send that to a million of my friends right now and we would have this inside joke. I would go, but we didn't do it. We didn't shout out memes in math class. Like, we knew that when we were in math class, that's not meme time. We turned the memes off, right? So to me, it's all about intention because, like, to me, like, it's like I have so many dumb inside jokes with you and all of our friends of like a stupid meme we saw 20 years ago that doesn't engage my brain, but we like made an intentional choice to share a video and have a laugh like together as people. But we intended to do that. We didn't get sucked into a rabbit hole because it made someone else money.
Oh
I
God,
mean, probably did, but
I'm just
you know.
thinking about sending you just whatever, man. When you write, and like 3 in real life seconds pass, and I get this response. Like, it was unbelievable. You must have been holding your phone as I sent it. It was so funny. Oh God.
And that's but that's like what life is about, bro. Like, I
Yeah.
live for like that kind of silly stuff. Like, I love it, but like, again, we do it with intention, and like that's my fear about like life and the youths and like where things are going is like, you could watch 100 TikToks in an hour, probably more, probably 250 TikToks in an hour, remember nothing of any of them, and feel depressed because they all left your brain. Or you could watch a 4-minute YouTube video with your friends, and in 4 minutes, you can like have a laugh that you'll remember for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah.
such a stark different, like, that's a huge difference in like how you approach life spiritually. God, I feel like a freaking Buddhist guru
Dude,
right now. But
dude, I forgot because I have my multi monitor set up in the enrichment enclosure here.
I
And
love, by the way, I
I
love enrichment enclosure as a
yeah, it's
as
what
a
it is.
phrase. It makes me so happy every time you say it. It's so funny.
I think the original tweet or whatever was like, I bring my boyfriend treats to him in his enrichment enclosure or something like that. And
Yeah.
I saw the phrase, I was like, enrichment enclosure. Oh, that's so good. And that's just been, I can't stop. Anyway, I'm looking around the enrichment enclosure because like there's things to look at. But then I looked back up as we're sitting here talking about how old we feel and how blah 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 and how the kids should do this. And I look back up at Grandpa Simpson going, it'll happen to you. And I'm like, yep. Well, here it is, man. Here's the other part that I think is weird, right? I think the age of information has also accelerated a whole bunch of life experiences kind of stuff. I think we feel older, like genuinely. I know we've goofed about blah blah blah, etc. I think on the whole, our generation feels much older at our 30s than previous generations did.
Oh, super.
Like very genuinely, unironically, you know.
Yeah.
So
I remember being 25, standing in front of like a group of fifth graders and giving them some kind of spiel now about like how I like when I grew up the internet or whatever something. And then I remember saying to them like, just so all of you know, I know you think I sound like an old man. I'm 25. Like and I didn't say this to them, but if this were the 90s and I were 25, I would like the way I grew up would be pretty similar to the way those kids grew up. But when I was 25 in the year, I don't know, 2018 or something, like my life as a kid was vastly different than those kids' lives because that's how fast things changed.
yeah, the rate of change on everything has been so rapid, and so it's just, and we just weren't meant to deal with this. And not only is it just the change being rapid, we've also had to endure most of it recently, with every voice in the entire world all screaming at the same time, always, every second of every day, which I don't think is helping the aging feeling. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But God, well, all of this is to say, wherever you are out there, whatever you like to watch or listen to or talk about, be intentional with how you spend your time and what you do with it. Because I really try to, and it makes me feel out of touch. But like, I really hope that I can this bubble that I've created inside my house, where like me and my wife spend our time intentionally and like think about like what makes us happy and do that instead of getting sucked into rabbit holes. I hope I can keep that bubble for as long as possible for my child so that she can like grow up in a world of intention.
Yeah,
God, I'm
man.
so
Yeah.
so old.
Here's the thing. Here's I'm as someone who's normally doomer and stuff on a lot of this. I'm gonna throw something your way. I think the fact that you and I and a lot of us are starting to kind of feel this way fundamentally is a sign that we will do everything we can to set up a world in a way that will make it so that they can do exactly what it is that you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. And history has shown that when things like this happen, the pendulum does swing back the other way. And
That's true.
the good news is, every other time this has happened, the reason why everything fell apart is because they're a bunch of stupid assholes, and they can't figure out how to do anything right. So
What else is new?
eventually, eventually, it'll be okay. It won't be fast enough, but eventually it'll be okay. You know? So there. Oh God.
Well, this has been cryptic depression, everybody.
Yeah, I
No,
mean
I think
that's
this
like
was
all of them. What are
uplifting.
we talking about? You know?
I think this was uplifting, especially at the end. It was good. It felt good to talk about it, and it was cool. So thank you for listening as always to us start talk about video games and then start to talk about the state of the world and how you should live within it spiritually.
Yeah. Go here. The reason I do this with Andy is because my favorite thing in the world is to just listen to somebody else talk about something they like. And it's especially good when I also really like it. So that's why Andy and I do what we do. At least for me,
Yeah.
that's why I do it. Go to someone in your life, if you don't already, and just ask them about a thing they really like and sit and listen to them. It's great. I promise.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's so good to watch
Yeah, I
somebody get
agree.
excited
I
about
agree.
something they like, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Well, Good night, everybody.
Yeah, we did it. Good. Have a good intentional life. Goodbye.